Hello, my name is Connor DeWald, and this is my final level with gameplay for Project and Portfolio 4. In this level, the main objective is to collect 20 fruit, loot, swords, equipment, treasure, and then make it off the island using the 3 set paths. When the player spawns, they immediately see the pirate ship, which is the level end. The level start is on the tallest peak of the mountain. They have 3 different routes they can go. They can follow the trees, collecting berries on the vines. They can follow the river, finding fish along the way, making their way through the waterfalls, or they can traverse through the mountains, which is just more jumping. There are animals around to talk to. There are conversations the player can have along with picking up the collectibles. The main objective is to collect 20 equipment, loot, treasure, anything. The side objectives are to be as fast as you can, the amount of time taken in the level, how many conversations you have with different animals or pirates around, and then also just how many collectibles you've picked up within progress of this level. So upon starting the level, it says to collect 20 fruit or treasure before getting off the island, says the captain. The player looks around, they can see the 3 different paths, they can see the pirate ship, and a landscape to block off the void. I wanted an ocean, but I made do with a river. Once jumping down the mountaintop here, the player sees some initial instructions to lead them along the right path. Spacebar is to jump, and if they press tab, they can see a stats screen. If the player jumps and collects a fruit, 1 loot is collected. And if they grab all the loot in said area, the progress bar calculates as such, filling until 20. I've also stopped player movement and everything while the player is in the stats screen when they press tab. There are swords the player can pick up, flowers. There were bananas and apples over there, and piles of gold within the chest. If the player decides to go this route, they will begin to traverse on top of the trees and see berries hanging from the vines, more collectibles for the player to pick up. If the player continues this way, they'll have an animation with the parrot. If the player makes their way through the river, they will have an animation with the fish. There are also fish to pick up along the way. If the player follows the rivers under the waterfalls, the fish kind of point them in the correct direction. You can also notice that the pirate ship is visible from many different angles along the map, just to lead more breadcrumbs, lead those lines for the player. And in the end, the player needs to have 20 loot or treasure in order to make it back onto the ship. There are ways to go back and forth between these said paths, as you may have noticed so far. Here's some pineapples. And the last conversation. Player has enough loot, they can get back to the ship, and that's the end of the level. Thank you for watching.